What's being taught at school is inconsistent with what I'm teaching my kids at home. We're almost at war.
I have had the opportunity to see firsthand the curriculum that's being implemented at all levels, from elementary through high school. I can say that I see today very markedly different from when my daughter was coming through Cherry Creek schools.
We send our children to school. We trust that the teachers are going to teach our kids, help them be good thinkers, help them to solve problems. And I, as a parent, when they bring their work home, reinforce those values, not only the ones that I'm teaching them at home, but they should be reflected in what they're being taught at school.
There's a very concerted effort with DEI, proper, uppercase, to drive a wedge and divide, to see people on a very surface level and immediately judge on a very surface level. And not my experience when my daughter was coming through Cherry Creek schools.
After having attended school board meetings for almost 7 months in a row, the thing that I was amazed about was not a single time was the issue of academic achievement ever addressed.
So that's indicative of the type of lowering of the expectations, but stating that it's part of reaching a standard. So we went to the standard-based grading, got away from the traditional 100-point scale, 80, 90, and it was 1, 2, 3, 4, which is essentially the same thing. But it gave them a lot of leeway to give grades. And that might have been a push for some type of equity.
I'd assume they do it to boost their graduation rates and all that. I think I'm prepared, but I don't think anything from school has taught me to be prepared. I try to think in all of my English classes, in all of school, I don't know anything that they've actually taught me. It's always just been stuff that my mom or my dad would they would force me to read or correct my grammar. It's all been them. It hasn't been from the school.
That's what you see, and that's one of the reasons I think that you see the low test scores now.
My son being a high-achieving student, I felt that he deserved more than that, and he deserved more than that from Cherry Creek schools, which their motto is dedication to excellence.
So when I moved to the school district, I moved because of the reputation of the Cherry Creek School District, and over the years, it was clear that it was a very hostile environment to our values, and so I felt I had no other option but to take my children out of the public school system and into a private school system.
Well, we were just helping our middle school daughter with her homework, and we were in the school's online library, and we were in an EBSCO database. And that's like a digital encyclopedia, curated collection of media. And we found pornography. In fact, I think the first article that I found was something called Orgasms for All. And this was for very young children in middle school. And from there, you just kept clicking and you kept finding other articles. It was unbelievable.
One of the things that we did was to challenge the books. These are pornographic books that are in our schools. We've never said remove them. We've never said burn them. We have always said isolate these books away from children. And if a parent wants their child to look at pornography, then that is their choice. It's the great country. You have that freedom. We discovered 20 to 30 books in each district. When we challenged their books, myself and another team member, one person read from a book called The Bluest Eye, disgusting, and I held up a picture from a book called Genderqueer, and they lost their minds. Shut everything down. They're screaming at us. This is a school board meeting in D6. Screaming at us, you're lying, crying. Oh my God, I can't believe that we let them do this. They're children in the audience. They're children in the audience.
The things that are happening with the sexualization of the children are against my religion. Anything about morality or anything like that is for me to teach my children. Those conversations are put upon at the outset of introductions to your teacher and all those kinds of things. It just puts at the forefront sex.
Now, if you look at the coming out handbook, on the face of it, it seemed like a great thing. The whole goal was to reduce suicide rates among LGBTQ children. Well, when you start going through the handbook, you notice a number of things that are concerning. They make the statement in the handbook that there is no too young of an age to talk to children about sex.
It was like the last week or two of school. Me and my friends were going into the bathroom. It was like that closer to the end of the day. It was like third or fourth period, and we walked into the bathroom, and like we saw these two girls, and they were having intercourse in the bathroom. Like they're both naked, and they're using a strap on. And then so we saw it, and we walked straight back out. We're like, I'm not going in there, and so I don't use the bathrooms anymore. I feel like in America today, like there's like a moral going around about like when it comes to like being lesbian or like being bi, because it's like the whole new thing and everybody wants to do that. So I feel like everybody like takes off of that and wants to put it into their lives to seem like they're cool or something.
It puts at the forefront the apex of your person is your sexual identity, your racial identity, instead of tell me about yourself and let's learn about math, English, history. And so it has pervaded every aspect of the educational experience.
They need to understand, I think Cherry Creek School District, and in fact, if you're paying attention, almost every school district across the country thinks that they own our children. They are determined that parents will have no say in how their children are educated. And if I had anything to say to parents statewide, parents nationwide, is you need to stand up to that because they're taking our children.